style-wise, I think the person that I'm drawn to the most from the 70s is probably Ali MacGraw. There's just something about her that was very regal, but very natural at the same time. I remember the first time that I saw A Love Story, and I love that movie. I did love the peacoats in that. I remember getting my first peacoat. I think I was in 2nd grade. Everyone had one.
Well, I guess like the obvious one is Madonna. She's, you know, like such an icon of the 80s. I think she's just sort of like wholly her own person. And she was completely original.
My favorite person from the 90s was probably Chris Farley. I used to watch Saturday Night Live just to see him. I loved him so much, and I remember when he passed, it was really significant for me because he was such a huge part of my childhood.
I'm going to go for Pipolotti Wrist. I went to see this exhibition recently in London and was totally and utterly blown away by it because it has an amazing understanding of every stage of womanhood. And I suddenly, as I was standing there in the gallery, went, you very rarely see the world really from a woman's point of view. And I thought her work completely captures that, and I found it incredibly inspiring.
I think the 70s is probably the best decade ever in movie history. I mean, almost all of my favorite movies come from that decade, but I did choose one. I came up with one that I really do kind of love more than any other movie, and that was Paper Moon. I think my favorite scene is that really long scene between Tatum O'Neal and Ryan O'Neal. They're going to separate because they're mad at each other, and then she comes up with something clever, and so they're like fighting, but then they come back together, and I love that moment.
Okay. My favorite movie from the 80s, there's a couple of them, but I'd have to say The Shining. And then I have to give it one to Australia with Crocodile Dundee.
My favorite movie from the 90s was Jurassic Park. I was not really afraid of Jurassic Park. I was more afraid of movies like Chucky, It. Those movies really scared me. Any kind of clown coming to eat your brain, or a little doll that was going to stab your eyeballs out. Whereas dinosaurs, you know, there was pretty much no possibility that that was ever going to be a threat to me. I mean, I remember watching that film and I was like, this is going to happen, you guys. Just extract the DNA from a mosquito out of this piece of old amber and like, voila, DNA makes a dinosaur.
My Life Without Me, because it made me sob. I'd also go for The Beat That My Heart Skipped, the French film, which I just watch again and again and again and again and again. So I think I'd go for those two.
I don't really like the way that men dressed in the 70s. I find it to be kind of repulsive. I love almost all things about the female fashion from the 70s, but men's disco style from the 70s I find to be very unattractive.
I tend to like the unappealing trends from the 80s. I like high-waisted pants. I kind of like big shoulders. I guess I don't like scrunchies, those hairbands.
I feel like a lot of bad fashion trends from the 90s are coming back. I thought that they would never come back because they were so awful, but they're everywhere and they're cheap. Turtlenecks are kind of awful. Who likes turtlenecks? Like, nobody looks good in a turtleneck. They're horrible. I've tried to like turtlenecks because they're practical, but they're just so unfortunate. That being said, I'll probably have an entire collection of them this fall, but men don't like turtlenecks. I don't think so. I've never met a man that likes anything around his neck other than my hands.
Fashion trend of the last 10 years that I don't like. I've been known to wear both, but there is nothing that's going to make you feel worse on some days than skinny jeans and micro mini. I think I would love to be one of those kind of 60s style people that can do that kind of thing, but if you're having one of those days when you're feeling crap anyway, skinny jeans and a micro mini, it's always going to make you feel worse. It's not friendly.